Good morning. This is Pastor Jason of Kona Faith Center with a word for today. And the word for today is lead. I was sent to lead God's chosen people to faith and to the knowledge of the truth that leads to a godly life. This is one of Paul's themes: lead people to faith in Jesus, lead people to the knowledge of the truth that produces a life that honors God, that pleases God, that accurately reflects God to the world around us. Lead. There are so many types of leadership. There's the command and control type of leadership that most of us are familiar with, my way or the highway. The problem with a command and control type of leadership, other than the fact that it is self-centered, manipulative, and nothing like God, is that it's very limiting. Command and control leadership is limited to what the person who is giving the commands and keeping control can produce. Because command and control is the lowest form of leadership, we have the most examples of it in our lives on the pages of our history books. And those who have not investigated, who have not studied leadership, have a tendency to think command and control is what leadership is. Having said that, I don't think that leadership by committee is an effective form of leadership. The founding fathers of the United States chose leadership by committee because they thought that the least amount of centralized leadership possible was the best solution for government. They knew that committees would not be able to do much, which was their intention in the first place. Now, we all need leadership. Without leadership, when everybody does what's right in their own sight, we end up at the animal farm. Even the animals are smarter than that. So what kind of leaders produce the best kind of leadership? In Paul's letters to both Timothy and Titus, he gives some leadership qualities. They must have their house in order, have a good reputation, must not be stubborn or irritable, must not drink or be violent, must not make money in shameful ways, must be hospitable, love what is good, be fair and moral, have self-control, must be devoted to the word, must be able to teach, must be able to encourage, must be able to correct those who oppose the word. To simplify, leaders must be people who have godly character. They must manifest the nature and character of Jesus accurately. Now, in leadership, there are two schools of thought. One, develop, practice, deploy leadership skills. Two, develop, practice, deploy godly character, and the leadership skills will follow naturally. Apparently, God chooses the second school of thought on leadership. Somebody paid $10,000 for me about 30 years ago to go to a 3-day leadership seminar. Amazing. They said at this seminar there were 5 leadership styles and that successful teams needed all 5 styles of leadership to be effective. They said that some leaders led by sharing ideas, idea leaders. Some leaders led by providing the drive to get something going. Some leaders led by managing processes and people. Some leaders led by develop organizational ideas and processes for people, tasks, and resources. Some leaders led by finding the right people and getting them involved. Another leadership paradigm says there are 4 types of leaders, and you need all 4 types of leaders to have an effective team. One type of leader says, we're going this way. The second type of leader says, we can do it. The third type of leader says, well, if we're going to do it, we're going to do it right. The fourth leader says, is everybody okay? Does everybody have what they need to follow through on their tasks? The point today is that if you're a Christian, if you belong to Jesus, you were made to lead. You were made to lead people to faith in Jesus. You were made to help people grow in the knowledge of the truth that leads to a godly life. It doesn't matter what your leadership style is. It does matter that you lead by example. It does matter that you lead based upon relationship. It does matter that you lead in response to the leading of the Holy Spirit. So I want to challenge you today to grow your faith in Jesus, to grow your knowledge of the truth, to apply your faith and your knowledge of the truth to develop the character and nature of Jesus, and then lead someone else to do the same. The word for today is lead. God bless. Check in tomorrow.